Guys, welcome back to the channel and to another video. In this video I'll be working on the slam panel, if that's what it's called, on the Escort. And if you can recall, in the last video I attempted that, and I said to myself, this ain't gonna work. So let's see what happens in this video. Enjoy. Alright, so that was that part. This is the section that I want to try to construct. I think the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make this flat plates here on the ends, and let's just see what happens. Alright, so as I shown in the other video, I'm going to use this piece to replicate this edge here, because it is about the same. It's not exact, but it is about the same. And like I said, my intention not to to make this panel like like the original. It's going to be my own bespoke design, so that will be like that on there. And then I got this. Never mind, this is just surface rust on here. I'll take all this off and I'll put on my rust converter and things on here. So then I got this rectangular tubing. This obviously will replicate that part of the slam panel, which is this section here. And then this bar I'll put on here like that. So if you can picture, she's gonna look something like that. So where this ends here, this is where this starts going up here. So this I'm gonna just cut shorter to kind of get this gap on top here, and that's just going to go straight over here. I'm not still going to have this little curve away and things like that here. It's just going to go straight across like that. So let me just carry on, less talking, and let me just carry on and see what it will turn out to be. Alright, so this little template I've made when I've done this thing. So I'm going to actually use this because I need to make two now of these plates, you see. So I'm actually going to use this now, mark it out on the steel. One for that side, and I'm going to flip it around, and one for that side. Okay. Alright, also this, you can see here that mark is when I've done that thing. So if I put that on there, I could actually use that. As a cutout, but I'm actually going to shift it to that edge there, then I don't have to cut a double line. I'm not going to put that like that. Then I'm going to mark that, cut that out, mark another one, cut that out, and then start comparing. Okay, so that's my two edges. I'm going to cut it out now with a grinder. I'm actually going to, no, I'm not going to cut exactly on the line. I'm going to give myself like 5 more off the line, so I can always trim it back. Alright, so I didn't cut this exactly on the line, which is fine. I can always trim that, which I'm going to do now. But that is going to be like that. I'm going to trim this closer to where it must be, and then bring this piece down to create this little slope thing here, like that. Alright, so I'll put this on here. It's relatively level with the old one, so I think we should be good here. I think we should be good with this one. So I'm going to lay this one on top of this one, so that I can have an identical one, and then grind this one to this one. I'm going to use the 2 vice grips here and do that. Alright, as you saw now, I got this all clamped up. I cut this, so I use the one as like a template. So they both should be relatively close to each other. I'm going to just remove these clamps now, the vice grips, and then deburr these edges. Then I think we should be good to go to the next phase of my invention. Let's see how this comes out. Alright, so as I put this plate top of the old one, you can see here I must bend this plate now, must kind of go downwards to like replicate that. I'm going to do it to both, and then I'll try to integrate it onto this. Okay, so I laid this down on the car here. My next thing is I must get that 19mm tubing that I marked earlier on, put it on there, and if my measurements are correct, then they should line up somewhere here. Let me just get that 19 quickly. Alright, so if I put this down here, that mark is more or less there. The other side should be quite close also. Let me just get it up. Yeah, you see they're relatively close. Each one is more or less the same. So what I'm going to do here, because on the original one, let me just get that thing that I made. Okay, this is the thing that I made here. You can see that carries on through there with an offset. So I said I'm not going to replicate this, which is, you can see there. My one is just going to come straight over like that, straight over. I'm not going to make that thing in there. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut this down, same that side, to at least about 4mm or so. Alright, I'm saying 4 because you can see here there's like a little lip over here, which also, like I said here, when I done this, I try to replicate that. So I'm going to cut it so that it can sit something like that on those 2 plates. Let me just do that quickly. Alright, first I'm going to try to capture my angle, which I think will be something like that, and then I'm going to cut it off there. I'm going to mark that side, and then I'm going to cut it. Alright, so that's cut now like that. That's the other end. Not exactly perfect, but there's a lot of fabrication to be made, so I'm not too concerned. So let's just fit this thing quickly on here and see what it looks like. Let's just move this here more or less in position, and like it kind of should be something like that, so yeah, gonna have to play around with it a little bit, because the idea of this coming across is also to give strength to this thing. So there'll be quite a bit of playing to be done here, but I think I made it in the right direction. Hope so. Anyway, let's carry on. Alright guys, I'm ending this one here. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers for now.